Hi, welcome back to Spiritual Compass. I'm here today with my guest Heidi Levine, all the way from Long Island, New York. Um, Hi, Heidi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How you doing?
Great. Do you want to tell us a little bit about you?
So I was born in Merrick, Long Island, and I was married at 25 years old. I have three beautiful children. I got divorced in 2009, and now I am an independent, strong woman, and I have a full-time job that I've been at for almost 13 years, and life is pretty good.
Wow, that's wonderful. Today, I'd like to talk about perseverance, overcoming, hard times. Um, that being said, right, how did you handle the difficult times in your life?
So I would say one of the most difficult times that I can remember is when I had gotten separated. It was trying to figure out how can I make it on my own? How can I do this all by myself? And that was very, very scary. And I felt very lost and very, very afraid. And that was probably the most difficult time for me in my life. Growing up as a child, everything seemed to be pretty easy looking back. My dad was a good provider. I was an athlete. I had a lot of friends. Life was pretty easy. I was, dependent upon my parents. And so when I got divorced, I had to go out and get a job. And I had to pay my own bills and do all these things that I never really had to do throughout most of my life.
Right. So you had to face your own responsibilities.
Yes.
Yes. Now, what did you find was the most difficult part? Was getting, deep down inside. What was it that you think, oh my God, this is so difficult?
I think that it was just maybe the fear of the unknown.
The fear, right?
The fear of the unknown. Oh my God, how am I going to get a job? I haven't worked I was a stay-at-home mom for 17 years.
Wow.
To hire me. And of course, I remember the exact moment of sitting in a parking lot, and I was in my car, and I broke down, and I called you. Right. And we had conversation that I remember in detail.
Right. One of the things that we tend to forget, right, is our strength that we have inside, right? And I remember that conversation, and I told you, you can do it. You have the strength, and you eloquently, stated that, you didn't have any skills, right? And, I remember that being a mom is probably one of the most amazing jobs, because you have to deal with schedule, you have to deal with temperaments, you have to deal with feeding, you have to deal with scheduling, you have to deal with all these things, which is a lot of skills, right? And I have to commend you, the ability to absorb that and move forward, and now fruitfully and achieving these things are pretty amazing. So starting from that, how did you get to where you are now?
Well, thank you. But so from that conversation that I had with you, it was always, I would call you, and you were my inspiration, and that's why I always reached out to you, because you had that calm demeanor, and, you always helped me realize to look into myself and to find the strength. It was always there, but sometimes you need that little push to
Right.
see it. So after that, the next thing I knew, I went into this sneaker store that I was a good customer, and I just sat down and we were just having a conversation, and kind of jokingly, I'm like, well, if you need any help, I'm available. And the next thing I know, I sat down, I was having an interview, a very informal interview with the owner, and he must have liked me and hired me on the spot. And from there, I started out as a salesperson, and then I ended up becoming a manager, learning the whole business. And I've been running the store it's going to be 13 years.
Wow.
And yeah,
amazing.
and I'm very proud of myself. And ever since then, everything else just kind of fell into place. And, I became totally independent, and I probably never felt better about myself or liked myself as much as I do now.
That's absolutely beautiful, Heidi.
Yeah.
The perseverance to overcome our own fear, right? And that's where it stems from. Because I believe that we all need to get value to ourselves, right? I believe that people want three things. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to be loved. But the thing about it is you have to give those things to yourself first, right? And your ability to absorb those things that was already inside, it's already inside of you. You just got to tap into that source, that golden nugget that's already in there, and make it grow and have confidence. And your level of confidence and your level of independence and your level of strength and of the ability to now be the store manager, that is uplifting to so many women that will hear this podcast, because the ability to overcome and not have a pity party, right?
Yep. Yes. And with that being said, that's one thing that I never did. I always, it's my attitude, my positive attitude. So many women would say, how do you do it? And, where I grew up is a pretty affluent area. And there's a lot of women that would come to me and say, Heidi, I can't believe you're always so happy and so positive. How do you do it? And to be honest with you, there's no other way. I could have crawled up in a ball, lay down, and had a pity party, and I would not allow that to happen. I like myself too much, and and I found the strength I needed, and basically I was just myself, and yeah.
Well,
and here today, and I love my job because I deal with people every single day.
that's beautiful. Not only did you find a job, but you also found a way to express what you have inside, and that's getting along with people and talking with them and helping them. I've always recognized that you had a strength to absorb people's vulnerability, right? And it's because of, I believe, coming from doing things and overcoming and having perseverance that, other people can see it. A lot of times people don't realize it's attraction, not promotion, right? So when you do something for yourself and you shine your light and you become and overcome, people recognize that, and they want to gravitate towards it. And your ability to go through the hard times and work through it and not have a pity party and smile when it's difficult because it's still a bright day outside, I have to commend you. That's really amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if there's anything else you could share with people that are looking at this podcast, to help them know that there's always going to be a brighter day.
Yeah. So basically, anytime anybody is feeling down, and we all know life isn't easy. That's a fact.
True.
Life is just perfect. But when you overcome obstacles, that's when you really appreciate and realize what happiness is. the one most important thing I feel at this point of my life, so the older that I was getting and the older that I am now, it's the little things in life where when we're younger and the things that seem so big and are really not, and you learn to appreciate the little things, whether it's going to the park and smelling a flower and, you know, it's a sunny day and you just, it's all those little things.
Right.
And it's the big things. Of course, you know, health is the most important thing, and all the little things in life, a good song on the radio, a good book, the sun is shining, a friend, whatever it may be, that, in my opinion, is really key. Even making a difference in someone's life. A customer that I don't even know, a complete stranger, confiding in me about their personal life. And then when I talk to them and they feel comfortable talking to me and they leave, it makes me feel so happy and proud that I could have made a difference in someone's life, no matter how small.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. And, you know, Heidi, I have to thank you so much for joining me today on my podcast. And you've come so far. I'm so proud of you, and continued success. And I wish you an amazing day.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank
And that was Heidi from Long Island. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. Please leave a comment, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, I'm Gary Guerrier with Spiritual Compass. Thank you.